Hello, everybody. Welcome to the CT Sports Talent Show. My name is Christopher Saunders, and I'll be previewing the Plainville football program. And hey, I call it Club Shea Shea. It's the Shea Shea Hour.
Oh
Coach,
yeah,
I appreciate you coming on, man.
sure. Anytime, anything for you. I think I'm your longest tenured interview every year.
Every year. I love it.
Yeah, people are asking me like, when are you going on? When are you going on? I said, oh, Chris is a busy guy. I get the call. I'm his guy, but who knows?
Hey, I was busy a little bit, had a
Yeah,
honeymoon,
you're in
we came
Jamaica.
back.
Yeah, yeah.
So much fun.
Back,
But you know
once you're back
what?
in the country.
Yeah, I got the tan. I mean, I got my coconut because we were in
There you go.
Jamaica.
There
So
you
much
go. There
fun,
you
dude.
go. Yeah, yeah. Good. Welcome back.
I appreciate that. But hey, congratulations to you on the little girl. Obviously,
Yeah,
you
I'm
this
perfect. Yep.
is it's awesome stuff, man. Really
Yep.
happy for you guys.
Thank you.
But you know what? Got to turn the switch because football is right around the corner. And I
Yeah,
mean,
week
how's
six
that going,
conditioning is
man?
this week. So yeah, be here in 2 weeks. We're ready to go.
How are the boys doing as far as the off-season conditioning and the training and whatnot?
Yeah, this summer I've been pleasantly surprised. We've had a much improved group, of our older kids. They're starting to get it a little bit now, which is good.
Hmm.
There's a lot of questions coming into this year, which there always is going to be questions coming into this year. But the kids have had we had a good winter. We had a good spring lift, this year, especially. It's good with us being a Class S school,
Hmm.
smaller, so everybody plays multiple sports, so it's hard to get everybody in the same room. But kids found the way in the spring, in the summer. The summer's been a pleasant surprise. I mean, I like summer conditioning. A lot of people, a lot of head coaches don't. I do. I like being in there with them. The heat and the stuff we got going on. But we've had a good summer. We have 20 incoming freshmen. So our roster is going up a bit. So let's we are looking forward to maxing out this week 6.
Hmm.
Got a week off, and then poof, it's go time.
I feel like the last couple of years that we've discussed, the freshman numbers have been good. I think there was one year it was kind of iffy, but they've been good though.
Yeah, yeah. The most I've ever had was probably about 25, 26. The lowest was probably 9. We've had, but that's it's a lot of the problem everywhere. Football's hard.
Yeah.
Not everybody wants to commit to a lot of this stuff here. And well, it's hard. So, but our
Hmm.
numbers are way back up. We have a couple of good classes of football kids,
Hmm.
and we're looking forward to coaching them.
Do you notice, Coach, any difference with the summer conditioning with the boys this year compared to past years? Is there any difference with them psychologically, anything like that?
I think so. And we tried to stress this year. We have a short summer. We got to school a little later. We usually have about 8 weeks before we start. This year we got 6. So we've had to do some other things. We've taken advantage of the allotted
Hmm.
time now, CIAC, but without trying to burn them out at the same time. We kind of stick to the same
Hmm.
conditioning routine we've always done. Back even Woodland days, it's one of those things that's always worked. I mean, our lifting program has changed a bit. I'm spoiled. I get to talk to Mike Erickson, who ran Central Connecticut forever. His kids play for us, and he's someone I've been meeting with for years. So I get to pick his brain strength and conditioning wise, which is excellent. And we try to build and cater to the time we have. And I've been very happy how the summer went. I'm looking forward to maxing out this week. We've had good field work,
Hmm.
and active engagement with our other coaches, which as a head coach is great when you can get your other guys around. The more eyes, the more hands, the more the kids see you, the better. Isn't like, they're always seeing the same one face, me. It's great to get other guys in there too, because if you want them to die for you, you got to be willing to be in there with them. Because teenagers ain't dumb as much as anyone was. They know, and they know what's real and what's not. So if you're in there with them,
Hmm.
chances are they're gonna give you all they got.
Now, have you been getting into the weight room with them and showing them how to get it done?
Not at my age. Well, so I'll ride a bike. So we have one of those Airdyne bikes. So I'll pedal for about a half hour to 40 minutes while we're in there. And if I see something I don't like, I just whistle or yell or just turn the radio off. I'm in charge of the aux, because I have no idea what the kids listen to nowadays. So we got Metallica Monday, which will be
Yeah.
blaring tomorrow, Death Metal Tuesday. Then, Thursday we calm down a little bit. But yeah.
I feel
But
like some of the music now is just like, who's this again? Oh, it's 5040 5040 Jeezy. Who is that?
I mean, it can't go wrong with Metallica, I guess. I don't know. I'm old.
I see, I listen to Metallica. I know them, thankfully. but
Yeah.
like new stuff, no idea. So, Coach, I got to ask you too, as far as depth, obviously being in Class S, like
Yep.
many schools in the Valley, they
Yep.
play both sides of the ball.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
what's the mindset? What's it going like as far as coming into this year? Same thing too?
Well, being, a double S, where we have about 50, 52 in the program right now, counting freshmen, which is a good number for us. Perfect world, I'd love to try to get as many guys going one way as possible, and you try to use the summer and camp to try to force that a little bit, to see if there's any type of drop off or not. Hopefully there's not, but many guys you can get playing one way, the better. Obviously, perfect world, both sets of lines, one's on the offense side, one's on the defensive side. Skill
Mhm.
skill guys, and the defensive guys all play special teams. So that's perfect world. Everything looks great on paper right now, but once you start playing, and we're going to see how things shape up. We are going to try to get the best 11 on the field in
Mhm.
every phase. Hopefully, the best 11 is more than just 11 guys, but we're going to find that out.
What's it been like? Because I'm sure you've been talking with the kids during the conditioning and such. What have they been talking? Have they been asking you questions? Are they just kind of, are they talking football? What's that been like with them too?
Well, it's a little. Coaching now is a lot different than when I was in high school 30 plus years ago. Now we wear a lot of hats right now. Some days you wish just X's and O's, but it's not. It's a lot. It's a lot with us. It's a lot everywhere. I'm sure any head coach can tell you that.
Mhm.
And the older kids, they come in on Mondays, they look at the board, like, all right, here's what we got. And a lot of ways it runs itself, and that's how you have a good program when a lot of things run themselves, when I'll only interject when I have to, insert my foot, or praise them. Otherwise a lot of things just, roll along. I feel you are as good as what your senior class is because it's their team. It's their team, and that's what I try to always impart on them. This is my 16th year as a head coach, and that's something I've always done. And it's the better your senior class is, I feel the better you're going to be. I'm not talking about talent wise, but just how
Mhm.
they, how they handle themselves, character wise, how they work ethic, stuff like that. And the better they are, I think, the better you're going to be. I think we can look at that at Plainville, as an example of that. Our better years, a lot of times we had better seniors. Not that any of them are wrong, or that's just how football is.
And I know obviously you can't predict the future, but what is the potential of this senior class now coming in? How are they looked at as far as amongst the underclassmen and
Well,
to you?
they're all experienced. We got 12 of them.
Wow.
Off the top of my head, I think I want to say 9 or 10 of them are all multiple year lettermen, multiple year starters. And most of them are linemen. In this class here, so it's
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see. Everything's great now. We'll see what happens. The grind of August, and
Mhm.
then once the season starts, man, school and everything else going on, we'll see where we're at. And just stay healthy, a little lucky. We're doing some new things, some different things too, and the kids seem to be receptive to that. And we're doing our part. We need them to do theirs as well, and so we all get on the same page. Good things are going to happen.
I feel like, Coach, for a guy who grew up in the trenches, to have a class that's, like you said, is senior related on the line, on the
Yeah,
lines, I feel like that's got to be, if you're going to pick anything to be
yeah.
heavy involved at the varsity side, I feel like that's got to be the most important spot, no?
I agree as an offensive line guy. It is. I'm sure I'll catch a lot of chit chat for this, but playing O line and doing it well is very, very hard. So it's like offensive line play is simply about problem solving and putting fires out. It's like, all right, coach showed us this all week. This is the look we're going to get. We know this is what we're going to get. And go to the line of scrimmage. Wait a minute. We didn't practice against this. Oh, they moved. What now we got to change what? What's the snap count? Huh?
Yes, yes.
And it's not easy. It's they get yelled at the most. You gotta want to play up front. You gotta want to be one of those guys
Mhm.
in the expletive.
You feel like that the linemen, and I'm sure if they watch this, they'll probably hear it and see it. Do you feel like they know, like, hey, we are going to be leading this team. They are going to rely on us. Do they know that yet?
I say it every year, you guys are the most important part of the team. You are the most important position on the field. You start every single play, and the better we are up front, the better we're going to be. If we can move the ball and protect on offense, and if we can create a new line of scrimmage and stop people on defense up front and in the box,
Mhm.
things are going to happen. Good things are going to happen, and the better we are up front, I think the better we can and will be. So we'll see how some things play out, and take it one snap at a time. Because eventually in football, I know everybody likes to throw the ball around. Me being one of them, just look at all the some of the quarterbacks I've had over the years. But at the end of the day, come November and in December, you got to put your hand on the ground and get a yard, and that comes from being up front.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, coach. I think being able to, I mean, go with what players you have. If you got a running team, you run it. If you got a throwing team, you throw. I mean, look at who you'll be scrimmaging in a couple weeks.
Yeah, yeah,
Less than a month or so, you'll be facing Coach Anderson with Naugatuck.
yeah,
That'll be an Augie. I'm looking forward to that.
yeah.
And
It'll be
you
fun.
want
It'll
to
be fun.
talk, you want to talk about a guy who's been, used to be throw it 50 times a game, and then
I
he
was with him when he did that. Yeah,
Naugatuck,
I know.
wing
Yeah,
tee and all.
yeah, yeah, I know, I know. I was a
You
part of
know,
all that with him, and I think good programs and coaching staffs, you have to adapt to what you have.
yes.
And try to tell the kids weekly, we're going to win the best way possible, whether it's run it 50 times, throw it 50, somewhere in between. We had to score one more point than the other guy, and if we can do that, we're going to be successful. But we got to
Before I
win.
let you go, coach,
Sure.
it's been fun being able to interview. I could honestly talk to you forever. I, every year I talk to you, I always learn something from you. Do
Uh-oh.
you have you ev I know, crazy, right? It's like, uh-oh moment. Have you evolved as a coach? Like, do you realize that even yourself,
Yes.
you've evolved as a
Oh
person
yeah. Oh
coach?
yeah. Yeah. Younger Coach Shea. Oh boy. Yeah. So my first go around as a head coach, it's some of the stuff. My assistants, Moff and all them, Tipsy, my Woodland guys,
Mhm.
they got a lot of jokes for me right now. And even the Plainville guys are like, "Oh, you're this, that." No, I said, "No, you guys don't get it. It's sort of first time around, younger, crazy, and then the second time around as a head coach, tried the college thing, and you gain a little bit more perspective, some more clarity the longer you're in the game a bit, and you gotta change and roll with it too. And now my family situations obviously changing too. They are now even more important now, than before. And it's I think me being a control freak, because let's face it, I am. I gotta let the leash out a little bit, because I know when I was working with Chris, all those years ago, back in the early 2000s, he let us coach.
Yep.
He had the final say on everything. Obviously, as a head coach, but he let his guys coach. That's what we were paid to do. It kept us hungry. It kept us
Mhm.
bigger than what we were doing. It kept us wanting to be around. And you know, until you sit in that chair, you don't know how you're going to do it. So certain years I was very do it all, and now other years I
Mhm.
wasn't. Now I'm starting to let the leash off, let my guys coach, let them do their jobs now, and and it's but yeah, to answer your question, it does offer. You do get some clarity. This is year 16 as an HC now, and I think that's getting upwards, and some of the guys in Connecticut too, just doing that, and it's tough. It's tough, and you got to adapt to what you got, and you got to change. You can't be afraid of it. You got to think outside the box with some stuff, and it starts and stops with you. So whatever you're comfortable doing, you got to do.
What motivates you to get up every year? Because obviously, being a head coach, for people may not know, in football is not just a couple months and then it's like, all right, season's over. It's a literal year-long thing, even in the
Yeah, yeah.
what
Well,
motivates you to keep doing this every year?
I mean, I knew I wanted to coach long, long time ago. I think we've talked about this before.
Mhm.
Uh, I always wanted to coach. But just what high school is. I spent the summer with Jerry McDougal at Trumbull. We were doing the All-Star game, Fairfield County, New Haven County game, which is I wish they had that back. But just being around him and seeing how the high school, the community, and coach I played for Craig Peters, same thing. What we had at Woodland, that vibe, that thing
Yeah.
we had there, and now trying to transfer up here to Plainville, even after going on 10 years here. I think, it's got to be a calling. It ain't about the money because, well, let's face it, there isn't any. You know, and in my office, it says "Get excited." I have it written on my board every day. I have a
Awesome.
quote from Inky Johnson. It says, "Greatness is on the other side of I don't feel like it." And that, and I always look at Kirby Smart's, three costs of leadership, where whenever I'm starting to feel sorry for myself, I read them like, "Yep, yep, yep. All right, time to go to work." What I mean? And selfishly, I think I'm doing exactly what I want to do right now. This is what I was built for and made for.
Hmm.
Up with all the ups and downs, but a lot of the successes outweigh the bad. But I feel I'm doing exactly what I was meant to be doing right now, and I'm glad to do it every day until I can't.
I can tell you that I think Naugatuck and Coach Peters would be very and are very, very happy to see a Valley guy having success outside. Obviously, they'd love to see you have success in the Valley,
Yeah, yeah.
but you doing well outside the Valley, I'm
That,
sure. I'm
that
sure they're
rides a
happy.
little, that rides a little farther now. I have my mile commute to work right now. That's going
That
to be
long mile.
yeah, yeah. It's going to be pretty tough, especially with the little one. Once she starts getting involved, things are going to change. And I have a newfound respect for
Mhm.
for young parents and having to go through this with little ones and stuff. So you're going to find out too.
Oh, one day. But you know what? Wait till she gets a whistle and she's blowing it for the burpees. And those kids are gonna have to keep going.
Oh, they're going to have to deal with her. Yeah, yes, they will. Like
Especially
the
if
girl
it's a
from Little
punishment
John, like
day.
the girl from Remember the Titans.
Yeah, just like that. I'm telling, dude, you should please reenact that. That would be so
So
funny.
that'll be something. Yeah.
Before I let you go, Coach, really quickly, I know you'll be playing a Valley team in week one,
Yep.
Gilbert Northwestern Hoosie. I interviewed Coach Salias a couple
Yep.
weeks ago. Even though I'm not going to be able to go to the game because we'll have the potential of being in a Valley game for that.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm looking forward to being able to see that matchup, two evenly matched teams. And you
Yeah.
want to talk about two dudes who
He
are
does a yeah.
on the
Coach does a
line?
good job. He's been there a long. He's been there a long
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
I've seen them play a few times over the years. They run what they believe in. They're very good at what they do. They're hard-nosed kids. They play well. Coach
Tough.
has been there forever, same staff forever. So there's a reason why, and they do a lot of good things, and we're looking forward for them to come over to the Ville.
And as Scott told me, they like to hit. And
Good.
trust me, they like to hit.
You know,
And so does Coach Shea Shay's team.
you kind of got it. It's part of the game.
Love it. Coach, I really appreciate you as
Yeah,
always.
man.
Best of luck this year. And I'm looking forward to being at the scrimmage in less than a month or so. So I'll be making sure I say hello to you.
Yeah, we'll be there. I'll be the one yelling on the sideline. So,
That's fine. That's fine. I'm sure Coach Anderson will be doing the exact same thing.
absolute, absolutely. Probably be yelling at me across the field, but what else is there? So,
I'm having him on in a couple days too on Wednesday.
yes, yes, I saw that. I saw that.
Yeah. So I'm hyped for
I'm gonna
that.
chime in. I have to chime in.
Yeah, you should. You should. If you want to send me a question, be like, so what are you going to do in the scrimmage against Plainville?
Yeah, that'll get him going. Yeah.
Appreciate you, coach, as
Oh,
always.
man. You got to do.
I'll wrap things up here on the CT Sports Talent Show. Next time, stay safe. Remember, CT stands for Connecticut Talent. Drink, find them all. Do what you do, everybody, and be well.